But luckily, in America, they're still making movies like Interceptor, so we're not out of business.
Not only are we not out of business, but I had a great time. But I won't. I'm not gonna tip the bit. But
Tony had a great time.
Yeah, man. I had a blast with this one.
Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. Hey, watching with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
Each week, we watch the movies that have been made by people making movies.
Good people doing good things.
And we talk about them.
This is the shortest intro you've ever done. I'm just over here waiting for more.
That's it.
Oh, you leave them wanting more. That's the key to success. People are going to gobble that up, Dan. Good intro.
And each week, one of us picks a movie. This week, Tony picked a movie. Tony, why don't you tell us about the movie?
I sure did. Let me tell you a little bit about it, Dan Goodsell, because this movie, this fantastic piece of cinema, dropped on Netflix, shot to #1 for I don't know, a couple days at least, and then just fell off a cliff. And while it was #1, people complained about it, but still watched it for some reason. And the director came out and said he was confused on why it made it to #1. And I'm here to tell you I am not confused, because this is my #1 movie of the year.
And that's our show.
Wrap it up.
Now's the part where we talk about something we actually liked. This was your #1 movie of the year.
But I had a good time. I'm not going to lie to you. It felt like watching a really bad Jean-Claude Van Damme movie from 1993. And I mean that in the best way possible.
I think you're completely wrong.
Whoa.
Because I was going to watch Under Siege, which is like one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah, so good.
And I thought about Under Siege, and real stuff happens in Under Siege. Nothing happens in this movie, Tony.
Okay, but here's the thing. You're thinking of a good Steven Seagal movie. Now, you should watch a bad Steven Seagal movie, and it's right on par with this movie. That's the movies I'm talking about. No, it's not your Under Sieges. It's not your Die Hards. It's the shitty versions of those movies where after those hit, people are like, well, we got to make more things like that. How do we do it? And then they just screw it up. That's where this movie falls.
I came away from this movie not hating anybody that worked on this movie. Okay? So
for sure. That's a good start.
I didn't hate anybody that worked on this movie. The writer wrote a bunch of stuff, and
did he?
He wrote a bunch of stuff. They wrote a bunch of stuff, and the director, the action scenes were not the worst.
There's one decent action scene in it, and that's enough for me. The lady fight, the two women, that's a good fight scene.
Yeah, fight scene. The fight scenes were okay.
Yeah.
The actors were terrible.
Well, I liked the main bad guy. I enjoyed him.
He was so horrible.
He is doing his bit. Listen, Dan, this dialogue is atrocious. It's embarrassing. It's not human, but he's doing his best, and he's cute.
There it is. There's the corollary. A cute girl can get Dan through a movie. A cute guy can get Tony through the movie.
Amen to that. Amen.
So we start with Interceptor. We're out in the middle of the snow. We're at the Greeley base. And basically what we find out is this base has been taken over by people from the inside. Somehow we're taught all this stuff. We're
not somehow, Dan.
There's
so much exposition at the top of this movie. There's two kinds of exposition. That's how crazy this is. The first kind is like the written chyrons that are like, the military bases, I don't give a shit. But then you cut to like scenes of the out wilderness, and there's just people yelling, they've taken over the base. They're on our side. What's happening? Just the worst exposition dialogue mixed with terrible written exposition. It's awesome. It's fantastic. What a terrible way to start a movie.
So this movie is trying to figure out this really thin path where this one tiny room in the world is away from everything, and then one person basically has to defend this one room.
100%.
That's basically, they should have just started us. We put this woman in the room. If she's able to survive, the universe will be saved. That is the
Yep.
whole thing.
That's the premise. And we get 9 minutes of them trying to set that up.
Oh, no. We get 9 minutes of them setting it up, and then at different times during the movie, we have to continue to restrict it even further and
100%.
further and further until there is literally just this thread of plot that has to be followed.
There's also just like so much going over the plot. Like they keep reiterating what the plot is throughout the movies, just so you're keeping up. Just in case you fell asleep, it's fine. You wake up in 10 minutes, they'll recap the whole plot for you one more time. It's awesome.
I watched the beginning of the Sonic movie after I watched this stupid
Sonic
movie.
1 or 2?
1.
Okay, got it.
So I'm watching the Sonic movie, and I'm just like, they just set up thing after thing after thing, like in a very organic way that you're like, oh, I'm just at the point where he drops the rings into San Francisco.
Sure. Yeah,
and I'm like, this is a great thing. They're setting up that now these characters are going to have to go to San Francisco to get, it's just like all these nice thin plot points that are important to the characters, but do not shape the whole world. This movie, no. The entire world exists on what happens in this one room.
And that's the difference between a Die Hard and an Interceptor. Die Hard is like 20 people in a building, and he's saving them, and it's the most heroic shit you've ever seen in your life. Interceptor, she's saving literally the entire United States, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? This is ridiculous. Keep your personal stakes high, your global stakes low. That's how you make it important to your person. Come on, guys.
These are things that most movies...
I love it.
They look at Avengers and they're like, we're going to have the same stakes as Avengers. And it's like, no, you're not.
No,
you're not.
You're not. You're not superheroes.
So the idea is there's these two different things. This one base in Alaska and this one base which is on this floating platform in the middle of the ocean that have interceptor missiles which they can shoot up there and shoot down Russian nukes if they're coming. So
now my question, is it just Russian nukes? Or is it like all sorts of nukes? Or is there like a separate island thing for each country that we might be at war with? I was confused. I honestly don't know.
I mean, Russia's really the only one that has the material to do this.
And I guess the Alaska base pretty much points you straight at Russia. I guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, but the flip side of all this, I haven't done any research, but I have to imagine you could scramble freaking B-52s and scramble all sorts of planes and things that can also do similar things.
No, you can't, Dan. I saw the movie. You can't do it. It's the only line of defense.
Seems very unlikely, especially since in real life, this floating base is just a radar platform. It doesn't have any ICBMs on it.
Yeah. Also, when they intro the island, this little floating island, they're like 1,500 miles northeast of this one place, and they're like, location classified. But they just told me, if I fly 1,500 miles, I'll probably find it. Is all I'm going to say, guys.
Well, Tony, if you fly 1,500 miles in one direction, you're going to end up in Hawaii. If you fly 1,500 miles in the other direction, you're going to end up in New York City. So
I pick Hawaii, please.
There it is. So, once again, they want to make a movie that has a bunch of stakes, and so they've changed, they're making it happen however they can. This lady captain arrives there. She's our heroine. She's Chris Hemsworth's wife. Not very attractive.
Or good. I don't know. Like, she's fine. Like I said, she's like a bad Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, you can't, she's not able to communicate emotion very well, in my mind. And she delivers one-liners very flat, just like Jean-Claude Van Damme used to do. And I love it, but it's not great.
Yeah. So we set her up. She gets met by Ensign Washington, an African-American woman who never appears one other time in the film, but never comes back to save the day or do something, which is
you think
very
that they
disappointing.
She's in it like a decent amount right at the top. She's got a nice long speech in one of them, and it's like, oh, okay, she'll come back later. She doesn't. You never see her again. She's gone.
She's gone. Killed in her sleep. So that's kind of sucks. So JJ's our hero. And we learned through flashbacks or whatever that she was stationed here, and then she got not molested. What's the right word?
Assaulted.
Sexually assaulted by an upper guy, and then she got thrown out. Oh, no, then she not ratted on him, but talked about him, and then he eventually got booted.
Truth. Yeah,
she told the truth, and then of course in the military, that's a big problem.
Yeah, and I have two very opposing thoughts about this whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline's fine, and I think it's probably the most believable thing in this entire movie. However, the scenes depicting the assault are some of the worst acted scenes I've ever seen in my life. And like the C, I don't know, whatever, I don't even know, General, I don't know, we'll just call him General Bad Guy. He, like, when he gropes her ass, there's like this whole thing where he leans back, he looks down, he slowly very slowly just lays his hand on it. He doesn't squeeze. I'm not that I'm saying he has to, it's just weird. Just lays his hand on it, and then she looks over her shoulder at it, and he doesn't seem to notice that she's looking at it. And it is some of the worst direction I've ever seen in my life. It's so poorly done.
That's one of my complaints about this movie. So they this stuff's all sort of peppered through the movie, but we're going to talk about it right now.
Yeah, talking one chunk.
They don't make the assault like horrific enough, right?
Yeah.
They don't really get into I mean, I think maybe she runs into a bathroom and cries or something, but
yeah.
We don't really get the trauma of this across in the movie. But then we have this scene where somebody's enacting revenge on her. We have this whole room where they've written filthy things to screw with her. They kind of revel in that part of it.
Sure, yeah.
And it's
because they spent all that money on that set, Dan.
It's just kind of offensive that they don't, you're not vilifying the villains, and you're almost like you're enjoying when she's being harassed.
Yeah. No, it's not handled well.
Yeah,
it's not. But I like the idea behind it. That it, just didn't do it well.
Yeah. So she remembers the harassment, and then her dad sends her a letter, most generic letter ever. And then the big boss comes in, and she's like, "Oh, Greeley's gone dark," and he says, I'm not getting information from any place except, I believe she says, Twitter.
Is that what she said?
It's just like,
I hope that's what she says. Hey, that's a great source of news and information, Dan.
So they take her to the command post, or, the room that we're going to be spending the entire movie in, because they only have one room. And we meet the two other guys, Shaw and Beaver. Beaver's like this dumb hillbilly.
Yes. Before we get there, I just want to mention the captain guy literally has to go get her. Yeah. They're in like a crisis, and there's no other mode of communication.
No.
He has to go all the way through the base, just walking about 5-6 minutes, knock on her door and like, "Hey, do you want to walk? Let's walk over. We're in a crisis." It's so weird to me that there's not just like a radio, or like he sends someone different, because shouldn't he be dealing with the situation? I don't know.
It's insane. And there are times at which Beaver questions his command, and you're just
so there's no way that guy's still yeah. He's in the brig. Is that what they say?
Yes, he's definitely in the brig.
So good. All right, yeah, let's go. Let's get back to Beav.
So Beaver's there. I think he's eating a yogurt, and then he immediately says, "See this here laptop that I have sitting right here? It's the most powerful thing, and you will be needing this laptop later on in the movie to do something."
What he says, Stan, is this little beauty is more powerful than anything else in this room. And I was like, oh my God, you guys, we got to do that more organically, please. Just have him like doing something on the computer, maybe. Don't. I love it.
We also pan around the room, and we see these fire suits in this case, and we immediately know that we're going to need those fire suits later for something. Absolutely.
Yep. Again, just have them in the background. Just make it more of like a nuance, and then it's like, oh, fun, she used that from earlier. Nope.
So now we get a video feed where someone explains that some people in Russia have stolen 16 nuclear missile carriers.
Feels like so many.
16 on trucks. So
Yeah.
they have probably 100 guys that have done this gigantic.
Oh,
They've
easy.
heisted all these
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
and have access to them and use of them, and they're going to blow up 16 American cities.
When does the Pentagon call the room? Is
Pentagon's
that
not
just
called yet.
okay? Great. That's my favorite part of the movie.
I mean, I don't think it is. I don't think so.
Well, listen. Either way, they're in the room, and she's like, "Hey, I've got information."
Well,
and then he's like,
the president comes on later. Yeah, for sure.
Well, but when does the red phone ring? Because there's a moment where they're in the control room, and the captain is like, "Listen, if this was serious, the Pentagon would have called by now."
and
then the phone rings immediately afterwards, and I was like, "That's gold, guys."
This was right. That was right now. Yeah,
it's the greatest 2 seconds that I've seen in a long time. Like, it can't be that bad. If it was bad, the Pentagon will call. Bring! Oh shit! It's the Pentagon. Great stuff, guys.
So, Tony, I'm going to ask you a quick question.
Please.
What would this world be like if somebody nuked 16 American cities?
Well, again, I don't actually think you need to nuke 16 cities. It's just little bit that I know about nukes. I think you only need like maybe 3, and the U.S. is gone. So if you do 16, are you sure?
Oh, yeah, totally.
How big is a nuke? The radius.
Oh, I don't know, probably 50 miles.
But the radiation fallout is worse, right?
No, yeah. My point is, if you shot 16 American cities, you'd probably kill America.
Yeah, I don't even know if you need 16.
If you kill America, the rest of the world starts dying. And that's this whole plot, is you're waiting for the point at which they say, oh, it's really just us trying to get money. But somebody's paid him to do this.
100%. We don't really, I don't know. But even more on that is his plan, from what he says, is he's firing these 16 to start over.
Yeah,
he wants to start over. You can't, there's nothing to start over. You got radiation for 150 years. You can't, this land is unlivable. I've seen the movies.
It would not be good, and you would not want to go and restart America. As if the guy that did that could restart America, or anyone would want to give him the time. No one on the planet would want to give this guy the time of day, because it would screw up. Look at this pandemic. We just had a pandemic. How messed up is everything in the world because of that?
It's crazy. It's out of control.
Which caused a lockdown and, caused people to perish, and it's bad, but just fractional compared to 16 cities in America getting nuked. Technology would be screwed up, manufacturing on the entire planet would be screwed up. And so it's, and that's why Die Hard is great, because they switch it into, it's a plot. They don't want to blow up the stupid building. They're not, it's a
beautiful switch. Yeah.
Trying to get money, because that's what motivates people. And somehow the bad guy's not motivated by money. He's motivated by random platitudes that a writer has written for him.
Yeah, I don't know. He's good at delivering them, though, so that's fine.
So they look down the hallway, and there's the janitors, and then they, of course, realize that the janitors are the bad guys, so they shoot at the janitors and close the magic doors.
Yes, hold on. This is another great moment, because she's talking to her captain guy, and she's like, it sounds like it was an inside job. And if there's someone on the inside there might be someone on the inside here. And she's looking right at the janitors, and he smiles at her. And I was like, yes, dude. Yes, this is so good. And we are 12 minutes into this movie, and we got gunfire. The whole plot's been told to me. I know exactly what's going to happen. And then we slowed down for 30 to 35 minutes, and I was very sad.
So the bad guy, the big captain guy, he's dead. Beaver's
just one shot, he's down. Beaver gets scraped in the skull and is unconscious. I don't know how bullets work.
That could knock you out. Sure.
Could it? Okay, I'll try it.
You could get a concussion from that, sure.
Okay.
The bad guys have acid that they're going to throw on the computers. Really weird. And she fights a guy and then pokes him in the eyeball and kills him with a with a
You're skipping over a pretty funny fight. So first of all, this guy 6'5", I would say conservatively, big dude, big dude. She is she's a relatively small woman, very strong. I'll give her that. But there's a part in this fight where he's just trying to push the button to open the door, and her tiny frame is holding him back. It's not. I'm sorry, that's not a thing. If she was like, maybe if she had her feet on the door and was like using her whole body to stop him, great. But she's football stopping him, just like blocking him. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Well, not in this movie.
Nah.
So the doors are shut. They have, of course, welders, so they're going to cut through the doors, and that's going to take an amount of time, which is the amount of time it takes for this guy to give a terrible speech.
Well, it started at 60 minutes, and then she looked at it, and she's like, never mind, 30 minutes.
Because they start 2 torches. Which
it was like, they doubled the workload. It's great.
Which I think is a great line. I think that happens in Aliens. I believe they did the exact
same
bit. I think so.
Oh, boy, that's fun. Good
so
for them.
We call the president on the phone. President's a woman. Aha. And the president's like, hold that room.
As if we didn't know that she needed to do that.
Now, Alexander Kessel, our bad guy, who's the son of some sort of hedge fundy billionaire whose biggest crime in life is to have become the ambassador to the UN. For the
U.S., right? Yeah. There you go, man. Tough. It's tough to live in your dad's shadow like that, when he's all rich and powerful and stuff.
So he does a whole Fall of Rome thing, and then he brings in Welsh, who's like this other dude that had been in the big boss's room for a minute, and they've got the gun to his head. And Tony, this is the point at which do you save Welsh or do you save the United States of America?
Here's the thing, Dan. At this point, I was like, save America.
There it is. Tony's like, let that guy die.
Let me rephrase that. It's not about saving America. I'm like, let the guy die. For 2 reasons. One, I don't think he's a good guy. I think he was part of the problem that got her kicked out. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck this guy. And 2, what's he doing? Everyone else is on lockdown. All the important people came to this room. What was he doing? Was he just laying about? So, you know what? You're lazy, bad at your job. Get out, guy. Get out of here.
And so what do, Tony?
Well, they shoot him in the head.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It's great. Good for them.
Was it tense, Tony? Was it really tense when that?
Not at all. The whole time I was like, just shoot him. And then they shot him and I cheered.
And then what's the last thing they do? What's the last thing that Alexander Kessel does?
The greatest move of all time. On the window, in the blood, he draws a frowny face. And I was like, 10 out of 10. This is good stuff. If I were to write a movie, I can't use that anymore, and I'm heartbroken because that's a great move.
It was whatever. So
hold on, you didn't like it. It didn't make you laugh.
Oh God, no, not.
Oh, Dan, you got to love life a little bit more.
So the other guy that's in the room, he's got like a pet turtle. Tony,
this is so weird.
You have all these computers that control these missiles. Do you really think that you're allowed to bring a aquarium in there with a turtle?
A giant aquarium full of water. I'm surprised it's not bigger. I'm surprised it's not a full all the way around full of water, lots of fishies. This is so weird, Dan. It's the weirdest. Why isn't it in his room? Why isn't the gift that his children gave him in his quarters? That's where it would be. Why is it in the control room? So weird.
Well, pets are allowed on United States military bases as part of a family, but must remain leashed when walking around the base.
He doesn't leash that turtle because they found it wandering the ocean later.
But actually, this isn't a base. This is a deployment. You're not allowed to have pets on a deployment. Not a chance. Not a chance in hell.
Also, not in where you work, at least. Again, I would believe it if it's in his quarters. If it's above his bed and he says goodnight to it every day, great. I don't even care. It's not allowed in the control room.
There's no way you're allowed to have pets on deployment. Not a freaking chance in a million
Maybe
years.
it's a therapy turtle. You ever think about that, Dan?
Okay, Tony, I'm going to ask you a question.
It's not wearing a vest. You're right.
It's not wearing a vest.
What's your question?
Did she try to commit suicide?
Yes.
Would you have to tell your boss in the military that you tried to commit suicide?
Yes.
Would you let a person who tried to commit suicide in this most fragile of locations in the military?
It's not even that it's so remote that it's got to be one of the most emotionally draining posts to be in because you're so isolated. Everyone there's got to be depressed. So I don't think this is a great choice for that. No.
It's not that it's not a great choice. Once again, this is the military. They don't just let you do things. They don't just like, I feel better. Just I feel better.
Oh, you feel better? Get out there, bud.
And then we have the thing Tony loves. Kung Fu guy pops out of the floor.
No, hold on. You got to set it up properly, Dan, because there's a whole setup to this that makes it worthwhile. Okay. So, first of all, while she's fighting the big guy, the two other army guys just stand and watch. They just stand there and watch. They don't do anything, which I thought was very strange. And now they're in the room. Beav is down. The other guy whose name I don't remember. Cha. He's there, and he's basically telling her, like, hey, I'm not going to be any help to you. He's literally laying it out that not only is he not going to be any help, but later in the movie, he's going to help. Because he's laying it on so thick. I'm not going to be able to help you. I'm not going to be able to help you.
That's his turn, Tony.
It's not a turn.
I'm not going to help. I'm not going to help. I'm not going to help. Oh, yeah, I can do that.
I'm going to help you.
I'm good. Throw me out the window. I'll take care of it.
So then she's like, what are the ingress points? How else can they get in here? And he's like, well, there's the door. And she's like, he literally was like, there's the door. It's the only way. And she's like, yeah, that can't be the only way. What about wires? What about this? What about this? What about the floorboards that it apparently could just lift right up? That is the most ridiculous thing. It's so good because they talk about how can anyone get in? And this guy just pops up. As nobody thought about that.
Doing! Then because he's Asian, we have a kung fu fight that involves a refrigerator, a shotgun, and somehow the shotgun breaks at the end. Somehow it broke.
Is that what happens?
They sort of say it broke.
I believe them. If they say it, it's got to be true.
So she beats kung fu with the shotgun.
And then what does she do? What do they do with the body, Dan?
They throw him out the hole.
They throw him out the hole.
I love that.
Thank you.
I love that they actually got rid of bodies and used that hole to do things.
They use that hole a lot.
Yeah. Turtle. Okay, right. I did the turtle. Bad guy has a photo of her from when she played soccer, and it's sort of a sexy photo, but it's not really that sexy. And
it's not that sexy. Like, listen,
it's not embarrassing.
Right. I that's like something people would just post on Instagram, and not even like a racy way, just like a fun way. I don't know. This was the weakest part of the plot for me. I didn't totally understand it.
So this is when we flash back to the abuse, the ass. She wore a wire, Captain Whore, suicide attempt. And then there's her boyfriend, but it's not her boyfriend. It's her dad.
Who just kind of comes in. I don't know. I'm sure there's tons of stuff that we didn't see off screen. But she's in the shower and then just letting the shower fill up the bathtub, which is crazy to me.
You should not do that in California. We're having
we're always in a drought. You can never bathe in California.
Stop it.
But then her dad just like knows and breaks down the door while she's showering. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know because
he
broke down the door.
I don't know if he broke it down, but he went into the bathroom. I assume she locked the door. What kind of suicide attempt? You know what? I don't want to give tips. Suicide's very bad. Please get help. I don't know. It just felt weird that he just got in the bathroom at the right time. I don't know. It's all weird.
So Beaver betrays them and lets in the bad guys.
Did you see that comment, Dan?
I was hoping that Beaver got a redemption arc. I was kind of sad when Beaver turned out to be like total scumbag.
Beef to get a redemption arc. I love
She
it.
kind of did. I wanted there to be a whole thing where he isn't exactly who they told us he was right at the beginning.
No, Beef is an open book, my friend. What you see is what you get.
So she's like, they're like, ha ha ha, we got you. And she's like, just kill me. I'd rather you kill me than you mansplain to me.
She does make a mansplain joke, and I thought it was pretty funny.
No, see, Tony, okay, hold on. You did not think that was funny. You were like, oh, mansplain joke. This would be a good place to put a funny mansplain joke if someone could deliver a mansplain joke line, and she could not. She's like, no mansplaining to me. I'm from Spain, España. Why is her dad from America and she's from Spain?
Okay, now that's a fair question. I don't have an answer for it. Because even if they say that her mom is from Spain, right? They met like on base or something, but she wasn't raised there. She's an army.
Oh no, they said that she was raised in Spain. They said that.
But when did she join the army then? I don't know. That seems a little fishy to me. You're saying that she didn't get raised by her dad? Because they seem pretty close. And where's the mom now then? Why did she just left the mom? I don't know. This is all fishy.
Like I say. So Beaver now gives his I hate immigrants and America's about money and I gotta have money. And then all the while Alexander Kessel's drinking his coffee.
Yep, he's just chilling. He's very cool, very calm, very sexy.
Now we get to my favorite part of the movie, which is actually not my favorite part of the movie, is the Chris Hemsworth cameos.
All right, there's some things we got to talk about with these. So
they're so bad.
I laughed at the first one when he's like talking to these people, and then the TV turns black and white, and he goes, "Hey," and he knocks on it. "Hey, why'd it go black and white?" Very funny. That needs to be the only time we see that character.
Mm-hmm.
The only time. Or if you want to show him again, he needs to help tangentially. He needs to be like, oh, you know what? I can hack into something and give you access to something. He has to be a guy in a chair then. Because now he's totally separate from the story. His character does not belong in this movie because it's so over the top. You're just putting him in there because he's exec producing. It's offensive. It's offensive to me.
It was really bad. His acting was really bad because he was doing a movie of a different tone than the movie we were watching.
Just so different. He's doing a Big Lebowski type thing. I don't know what's going on over there. Again, if you just show him the first time, I'm fine with it because it's just like, oh, cute. He's in his wife's movie that he's producing. But they just keep showing him and he has nothing to do with anything. He's not even in the same world.
No.
Very upsetting.
So they launch a missile to destroy Los Angeles. And
I was pretty bummed that we were first on the list.
I was glad we were first on the list. Why was I glad we were first on the list?
I don't know, because she got a death wish, Dan?
No, because I knew it was going to fail, and so I knew Los Angeles was going to be safe the rest of the stupid movie.
We're safe. So we're good, like, guys. We're good.
We good.
The first one never works out, so we're good. All right.
She like breaks her own hands and gets out of the thing.
She dislocates the thumb. It's classic. It's a classic get out of restraints move.
Because your hand's so much smaller with that thumb gone.
I don't know. They use it a lot in movies. I don't know if it's real or not, if I'm being honest. I don't want to dislocate anything, so I'm not going to test it, but maybe it works. I don't know. A lot of movies do it.
Yeah, I don't believe it. So she gets out, and there's a machine gun.
Ho, ho, ho.
And this is when she fights the lady. So we split it up again, so it's just them in the room, and she fights the lady, and the lady does kung fu, gets stabbed in the neck, gets whipped cream in the mouth,
okay.
and still comes back to life. And then at one point she's all like, "Die already! Die! Die!"
Hold on, Dan. Whipped cream in the mouth?
She put something in some foam in the mouth.
It's the sealant.
Oh, it seemed like whipped cream to me. It was kind of I thought it was kind of sexy.
It's a little Varsity Blues action right there.
Yeah.
Oh god, whipped cream in the mouth. That's so good. They show her fixing a pipe with it.
Yeah.
She fills it up and it seals the pipe. But that
That was me telling a
that's so
joke,
good.
Tony.
That's a 10 out of 10 joke.
Funnier
I
than the
very
rest of
much
this
enjoyed it.
stupid movie.
But
So-
yeah, I do have a problem with her because they definitely show her getting stabbed in the neck with the deer trophy, and then she's fine. There's no hole, there's no cut, she's fine.
That is not a place you want to get stabbed.
No, she should be
Top of the
bleeding
list of
out.
places you do not want to get stabbed. Right here. Might be the top of the list.
But she's fine. I wouldn't worry about it. No, she's good.
And she takes like 3 center shots and it's like unaffected.
Yeah, for sure. She's she's tough. She's a tough lady.
She's
okay.
tough. There it is.
Built Ford tough, man. Good stuff. But I mean, the fighting is decent. It's decent. I enjoyed it.
And then there's the one joke that I liked. It's like, I'm gonna needle you like a needle.
Oh my god, is that Beeve? That sounds like a Beeve line, I think.
Might have been Beaver. I'm gonna needle you like a needle.
Needle, yeah. Oh,
like, okay.
God. Okay.
There
Good
it
for
is.
you.
So she goes into the first aid kit and she's just like all but she gets a scalpel and she gets duct tape and she duct tapes up her arm.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a bullet in it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe she dug the bullet out. I don't remember.
It doesn't. They didn't show that because I would remember. I feel like I'd remember her digging in her own arm.
They implied that she was going to dig in her own arm, but they
then
probably couldn't afford to do that.
So,
yeah.
It's a tough effect, you know? You got to get a fake arm maybe and some fake blood to squirt out. I don't know.
There weren't any prosthetics in this movie, were there?
I don't think so. Even when like we pretend we break things, we don't. So I don't think so.
Yeah. So, Tony, do you really think it's a good idea if you have a wound to literally wrap duct tape over the wound?
I don't know because let me explain something. I don't know anymore because in the old days we used to tear off pieces of our clothing and tie it off tight. You know.
Well, you don't want to do that.
I took a class and they were like, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. And I was like, whoa, but movies tell me to do that. So maybe duct tape is better. I don't know anymore.
Okay. What are you doing when you do that cloth thing? What are you doing?
You're cutting out the circulation so you stop the bleeding.
Yeah. You're making a tourniquet. And what a tourniquet does.
That's the word. That's the word. Thank you.
It stops bleeding. And it stops blood flow. If you do that for your arm for a number of hours, what is your arm going to do? It's going to die. What you want to do is you want to tear a piece of cloth, put it over the wound, then tape it off or tie it off. Or
cauterize it with some like wires, start a spark, and then that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd watch
or
that.
Use some of that acid. Go acid.
Some of the whipped cream, maybe. Just fill that up.
So like she's like all pissed off at the first aid. She actually gets more emotionally pissed off at the first aid kit than anything else. Than anything else in this movie. She is more frustrated with the sadness of that, and that's the problem with this movie and her acting is she doesn't understand that's how you have to act to them. But she thinks she's in like a real action movie, and so she's all like, I'm action angry.
Yeah. She's Schwarzenegger angry. Let me ask you a question, Dan. What are the odds that that's just really her getting frustrated at trying to act with the first aid kit?
That's a possibility.
She just couldn't get it open. The lock is weird. She's getting all flustered.
So now she's done a big thing, and the president calls her back. And what does the president do to her, Tony?
They just don't believe her or something. They're like, you can't do it.
They throw all this shade at her. Like the president just throws shade at her after she pulls off, a pretty amazing thing.
Yeah, she got lucky. It won't happen twice. You know what I mean?
So we also find out that reinforcements are maybe 45 minutes away. We find out that Alexander's king of torture, which I don't think we needed, but
no, we do need it because this is hilarious to me. Listen, Dan,
okay.
When they explain it, they go, this is how they explain it. He's the king of torture. He was so good, maybe too good. He even killed 2 people. Now, hold on, Dan. if
not
you're
too
a good torturer, you should be not killing people. That's not good torturing.
He kept this guy alive for 1,000 years.
1,000
Every day,
years.
the Chinese water torture. He used the Chinese water torture like
He divulged so much information.
I mean, think about
he just killed dudes.
think about the great lines you could write about his torture ability. He once removed a guy's head, and the head stayed alive for another day, and he continued to torture the head. Like give us some good stuff.
No, he just killed 2 guys, so he's really good at torturing. You idiots.
So stupid Shaw finally wakes up. And we had some of these dumb flashbacks. And then we get my favorite line from Alexander. Alexander's over there, and he's going to start another speech. And his speech starts, "I never summered where I wintered."
Oh, great. It's almost poetic, man. It's beautiful. Beautiful rich people talk.
Then he blasts his dad for being the ambassador to the UN. He's got daddy issues. And then
we don't dig into enough, because I don't understand why he's mad that his dad is the ambassador. Like that never correlates to me, and I have no idea why he's upset about it, other than he doesn't feel like he's qualified. Okay, most people aren't qualified for their jobs, guy.
Oh, that's the thing about the ambassador to the UN. It's like the one you don't want to be. You don't need to be qualified for because you don't do anything.
Well, then what the hell is he so mad about? I don't get it.
The ambassador to the UN is like a show post. It's like,
that's perfect for him.
It's what you give to like one of your big donors so that they get to act cool, and it doesn't mean anything.
So then what is he so bent out of shape about, Dan? I don't get it.
This is your greatest movie of the year. You're the person.
I know. I love this movie. I didn't say it was good or make sense. I had a great time. I had a blast with this movie.
So now we find out that they've gone to the home where her dad lives in Arizona and mobilized a team of 1,000 guys to go there somehow.
Yeah,
in the midst of all this. And they're all like, "We got your dad." And so Tony, there it is. They've got your dad at the retirement home. Save your dad or save the universe.
Well, I mean, I'm going to save my dad. But here's the thing, Dan. I probably won't, only because he's still dead either way. It's not a 1-to-1, because if you let him through, he's going to get nuked. And my dad has a better chance of beating these 4 guys hand-to-hand combat than he does of surviving a nuclear missile.
So you just be GL, Dad.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Stop,
love you. Love you. Goodbye.
Tony,
goodbye.
tell
I love you. Goodbye.
Tony, tell the truth.
No, I'm opening the door. Second one. I don't give a shit.
Thank you.
Come on in, guys. Let me get you a charcuterie. Come on in. This is my home.
So they cut off his finger, and then he's like, "Never stop fighting." And Alexander's like, "Kill him." And then they kill him.
Yeah, they shoot. But here's...
Hold on,
okay.
Tony.
No, sorry, yeah.
So they kill him, right? We're going to find out later they didn't kill him, but that doesn't matter. To all intents and purposes, he says, "Kill him."
He says, "Kill him."
And essentially, they kill him.
You say that, but here's my problem, Dan.
Yeah, here's your problem.
Is they're showing the screen.
Yeah.
And there's, right before the gunshot, the screen scrambles. There's no reason for that signal to scramble unless they shot the screen, which they did not. So something happened. You got to know.
Something happened. The audience is led to believe that they shot him because their boss told them to kill him.
Sure.
Why did the boss tell them to kill him?
He's just having some fun.
Does killing him get him anything?
It gets him literally nothing. In fact, not only does it not get him what he wants, it actually helps her keep him away. Yes, that's the word.
It's the dumbest thing ever. It's like, wait a second. If this guy's really good, this guy isn't good at what he does.
He's terrible at all of his jobs. That's what we've learned in this movie. But no, like, killing the one thing that she cares about in the world is a threat that you can never go through with. Otherwise, she's got nothing else to lose. And she's like, okay, fuck you. I'll stay in here forever, you idiot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they push a button and the whole thing starts to sink.
Yeah.
So they're scuttling the whole boat. They've got like 13 minutes.
Dan, I have questions.
Yeah.
So this is your last line of defense against nuclear missiles. So they say, I understand we don't believe that.
What's the point of a
Why
button
would
you
you
can
ever
push
want
to
to sink it? Why? How does that get you anything other than stopping nuclear weapons? It's the only reason for that to exist is if someone wants to sink it and win the war.
In Star Trek, you always have the self-destruct sequence that you can start.
But I just don't.
It's dumb, yeah, but
it's only dumb because there's no offense to this space, as far as I can. It's only defense. So the only thing I don't want this to do is sink.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing it cannot ever do. I don't know. It seems very strange.
You are correct, Tony. But once again, they have to constantly be putting a new clock on the situation.
I know. There's so many clocks.
So many clocks. This movie, you get lost in the clocks.
I want to do. You know what I want to do? I want to rewatch this movie.
Yeah.
And I want to overlay clocks every time they say it, and I want to see how different these clocks are and how badly they don't line up.
My favorite part is she fell asleep earlier in this.
She sleeps for 15 minutes. He says. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? You need to make a plan, lady. Oh God, this movie's so good.
Oh no, wait. Okay. So they start sinking the rig, and then they send Shaw to go unsink the rig
because she's wearing bad boots. Is that what I heard?
I don't know.
I swear to God,
she can't swim because she's only got one arm.
Okay, well that makes more sense. That's not what they say, Dan. I'm almost positive he says you can't go down there in those boots. I'm not 100%, but I'm like 95%.
So Shaw jumps out, goes there, instantaneously is at the thing, presses all the buttons, then Beaver comes down and Beaver kills him and then unpresses all the buttons.
Dan, he pushes those buttons so slow.
He says it's going to take him a long time, though.
But it shouldn't. It should. All he says twist, push, twist, push, twist, push. I could do it so much. He's only using one hand. First of all, use both hands, guy. There's only like 12 buttons. You should have that done in 20 seconds tops.
You gotta go like this, Tony.
Ka-ching. Get it ready, and button. All right.
So Beaver kills him, and Beaver's like, I'm a patriot.
That was pretty good. You could have been hired for the film.
And then she starts finally taping up the window so he can't see what she's up to.
Great scene, Dan. This is the part that I was like, I love this guy.
My first instinct was tape up that window instantaneously. I had that had that feeling. The first minute there and there, I'm like, why are they letting him look through a window and see what they're up to?
It's such a bad move. You have to fortify this room. You should tape it up so he can't see what you're doing, and then you make your plan. But while she's doing it, he is so good. And he's just like, stop taping the wind. Stop taping the wind. And it's so good. I love him.
I will give you this. This is
all right.
This character is, and it's actually a good character point for him because he would not. He's like, nope, stop doing.
Stop.
Why are you doing that?
There's nothing I can do.
I need to see. I'm in control.
So good.
It is pretty good. I'm giving you that one, Tony.
All right, we got one.
So we've got 17 minutes. So the good guys are going to be there in 17 minutes, but she doesn't have 17 minutes because of something.
The sinking stuff.
Something's happening. Maybe they're cutting. I don't know. Somehow they're going to get in there. So she's like, I have a plan. The plan is to give up the space and then retake the space, and it's the only way that would work. And then they bring in the nerdy guy, the nerdy game theory guy, and he's all like, there's only a 14% chance that it will occur, and I disagree. You should not do this.
So I have one. He's atrocious, so I have a problem with that.
It's really bad.
But I also have a problem because they don't have a plan B.
No,
like they have zero plan. So right now they're at a 0% chance of winning. She just increased that to 14%, and he's like, no, let's stick with no plan. I think we should definitely stick with no plan and just for sure lose. It doesn't make any sense. He should at least counter with a different plan that's stupid and not good. But nope, there's just no plan. Just stand around. Just stand there. Let us lose. It's fine.
So the bad guys get in. They're like, fire all missiles. Pour acid on all the computers. Ha, ha, ha. We win.
Dan.
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment to appreciate the beauty that is these CGI missiles.
I like the missiles.
They don't even have real fire. Like it's.
I like them. That's my favorite part. My actual favorite part of the movie was the missiles. I like those missiles because they look cool. And I like the way the ship that they're on. I like the way it looked.
It's a good set. It's a good set. Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like they were on that thing. When they did the outdoor stuff, every time I was like, man, this looks so good. This looks great.
I will give you that, and I'll give you the defense missiles looked cool.
Yeah,
the scatter defense missiles.
Super fun.
The nukes looked terrible. They're flying through space.
They're cute.
The fire is like, it's stationary. It's just a JPEG. It's not like a video file. It's just a JPEG floating through over a backdrop.
They don't even jiggle the JPEG around. They're just
there's no movement JPEG whatsoever. It's great. I loved it.
I like the way amazing. I like that. That's that part I liked about the movie.
It's great. No, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It's great stuff.
So they sent Beaver up on the roof because she's up on the roof, and he's like, I'm looking for her. Can't seem to find her. She's like, there's no place for her to hide. He like,
right. You would know she's not up there. She's not like.
So ridiculous. Then, what happens? So she's in like she's hiding in the fire suit. She comes out. She fights like Drago.
Well, hold on. First they think she's in the fridge. They think she's Indiana Jones in it, hiding in the fridge. And then they open it and shoot it. Oh, she's not there. And then he sees a closet. It's a lot of buildup I feel like we all knew where she was the whole time.
Yeah. I don't know. And there's 4 fire suits. So she's in the 4th fire suit somehow. She kills the one guy, gets his gun. Alex is like, He runs away. And then Beaver's on the roof. So she has to go up there and fight Beaver. So she goes up there and he's like super rapey. Like super rapey.
I mean, he's been pretty rapey the whole time.
And she pulls razor wire down, wraps it around his neck, and jumps and decapitates him, and his head flies off.
Hole, and it is awesome. It's great. Best death of the whole movie.
This could have been a good movie if they'd have been doing shit like this from the beginning.
I agree. But they don't have the money. They had the money to do it one time, and they used it beautifully. I will say that.
So we find out how you get in through the secret compartment. You got to climb up the side of the building. You got to then American Ninja Warrior it.
Yeah.
And jump from thing to thing, which she does with one arm.
One arm. She's a badass.
So she one arm. Gets herself up there. Oh, yeah, she'd set up the computer to take over, so she just has to work the computer.
Now, Dan, if she knew that was a thing the whole time, but why didn't she just destroy the control room and then just, like, go do it? You know what I mean? I don't know. Oh, okay, that's great.
I who am paid to criticize this movie, did not think about that.
Oh, all right, well, that's cool. You don't get... Who pays you? Who pays you? Are you holding out on me, Dan Goodsell? Good for you. I'm proud of you.
So she fires the missiles. The missiles, they get them all, but once gets through, and then it comes. And then I'm like, yes.
The tension is out of control there.
Woo. And I was like, cue the rock music. No rock music.
Like rock music as in genre or music from the movie The Rock?
But they don't. We get the music later.
Yeah, after the death, right?
Yeah.
Or not death. Does he die? Yeah, he dies.
She has to fight like the dude or something, and then we get a little bit of...
But what's weird is that their fight is one of the weakest fights of the whole movie.
Yeah.
He gets tired so fast. He's in good shape. He's done almost nothing this movie. Like, he's made everyone else do his dirty work, which is what you do as a bad guy. It's great. She's beat to hell. She did the American Ninja Warrior with one arm. She's only got one arm to use. It's tired. And yet somehow he's the one that gets too tired to fight? Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all.
He's used to torturing, not fighting, Tony. He's a torturer.
Oh, I get it. He's more of a mental fighter. Okay. All right.
So the Russian sub that was going to pick him up for an unknowable reason.
Well, because the Russians must have been the ones that paid him, right? That's what it's insinuating.
So the Russians paid him to steal their missiles to shoot their...
It's the perfect crime because you don't think it's the Russians because someone stole them, but it was the Russians stealing their own missiles. Perfect crime.
So the sub comes up, and then the sniper shoots Alexander. We're done with Alexander.
And then what happens?
Cut to the hospital room.
No. Hold on. This is one of my favorite parts of the movie. I got a lot of them. The guy does a hat tip to her. He salutes her. And I was like, that's cool. Just like professional courtesy. I love it. I love it, guys. Way to be humans.
So she wakes up. She's back at the hospital. The president comes to visit with the Secret Service. Her dad is alive. His buddies had rushed the room and defeated all the bad guys.
They did let you know very specifically that he was in a veterans retirement home surrounded by his army buddies. And this was being broadcast on TV. So they did
terrible. Not terrible.
They did a good job.
And the turtle survived, and they give her the turtle.
Hold on. They found the turtle in the ocean, right? That's what they said. What? I don't even know. What?
More importantly, wouldn't she have been on a ship with the turtle?
You would think so.
Wouldn't they?
And also, more importantly, why is she keeping the turtle? It's not her turtle. That should be sent to the guy's kids so that they can remember their fucking father. Okay?
More importantly, wouldn't the dad have called her on the phone or gotten a message to her before she was in the hospital that he was alive?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so, but the cell phones are tough in wherever he is. I don't remember where he is. New Mexico?
Cell phones are tough.
Yeah, tough cell phone service.
And that's the movie. So
hold on, it's not the movie. There's one more thing to talk about. She is in the biggest hospital room ever. They do a slow pan backwards, Dan, and this room goes on for 30 feet, and it's full of gifts. There's no hospital room in the world that is this big.
It's not full of gifts. I mean, gifts, flowers, balloons,
yeah, everything.
Half the budget of the film went to these flowers.
And it has to be a soundstage where there's just no back to that room because they just keep pulling back. Biggest, this is ridiculous. The hospital room is insane. I love it.
So, I mean, if you want a sort of mindless action movie,
maybe look somewhere else, but this is also an option.
There it is.
You'll get a couple of laughs for sure. I think. Dan, did you laugh? I laughed a bunch in this.
I laughed at the pin. Stick a pin in it. Where's the pin? Whatever that.
The needle.
Needle joke.
Yeah,
I laughed at the needle joke.
Needle you like a needle.
That's the one joke. That's the joke I laughed at.
Well, I laughed a bunch and I had a great time.
Yeah, so. I mean, and the razor wire beheading was good.
Cool. It was a good death.
It was a good death.
2 thumbs up, guys.
Yeah. So that's Interceptor.
Here's what I'm going to say, Dan.
What are you going to say, Tony?
People on the Twitter sphere are just railing against this movie. They're like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. You guys got to watch more movies. This is not the worst movie I've ever seen.
No.
It provides entertainment value. It's fucking free for you because it's on Netflix and you're already paying for it. Shut the fuck up. Have fun.
That doesn't count as free, Tony. You're paying.
It counts as part of a subscription that you're paying for even though you didn't know you were getting this movie. So it's kind of free.
No, it's not free. It's not free.
Hold on, I'm paying for Netflix for Stranger Things. Stranger Things alone. And then I'm getting bonus gifts all over the place. Free gifts.
That's
called Interceptor.
That's the way you choose to look at it, but not everybody watches Stranger Things.
Yeah, that's a good joke, Dan.
Shannon was like, should I watch this? And I was like, probably not. She's like, yeah.
Interceptor or Stranger Things?
Stranger Things.
Tell her to watch Stranger Things. It's the greatest show ever made.
No.
It's my favorite.
So now's the point of the show where we talk about something we did like, and I'm picking Spiderhead, which is a Chris Hemsworth movie.
Oh, yeah, I want to see it.
It's pretty good. It's, is it perfect or anything? No. Is it, defining movie? No. But there's some really interesting things. Miles Teller's is good.
Yeah, I like Miles Teller.
Jurnee Smollett, she's good.
Always good, especially in Jack.
She killed it in Jack, and Chris Hemsworth is good. So everybody's good, and
I'm excited.
The premise is pretty interesting, and there's a lot to think about in the movie.
Interesting. Okay,
yeah, so it's fun.
Okay.
So what do you got for us, Tony?
Well, it's unfortunate that we do this on a delay because this week the boys dropped the episode Hero Gasm.
And
it was fantastic. It was everything I had hoped for. Some really, really weird hero sex. It was great, guys. Good job to the boys. They're really going for it this year. Like, I feel like, and this is a weird thing to say, but the first 2 seasons are much more subtle than they are right now. And just
Wait, hold on
imagine.
a
That's
second.
what I'm saying.
The
Just
first
imagine.
season is subtle compared to where they're at
That's
now.
100%. Like,
my
this is like
God.
full Eric Kripke with his gloves off, doesn't give a fuck about anything, and they are going for it hardcore. And
Okay.
it's got a mixed reaction from what I can tell. Like, some people are not enjoying it, but I'm having a great time.
Well, I thought I read something where like the people were like thought Homelander was actually cool.
So, yes. So some right-wing people, I'm not saying all, but there was a subsection of right-wing people that thought that he was not what he is. And they are turning on the show this year because they're like, you've turned him into a monster. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about, guys? He's the bad guy. He is the worst guy on the planet of Earth.
He murdered a baby with laser beams like in the first season,
Yeah,
right?
I wouldn't worry about it. Yeah, it's fine. Because sometimes you got to do bad things to do the right thing or something. I don't know. I'm not agreeing with it. I'm just saying it's funny to see that they're finally understanding what the show was the whole time. And
Sure.
it just took them that long, which is weird. But in their defense, he's full Trump this year. Just like full.
is he?
Some of the things he says are like, I'm pretty sure, direct quotes, and it's a lot. I'm telling you, like, this season's, it's really on the nose with everything. But it's fun, and Hero-gasm's great. And one last thing, Jensen motherfucking Ackles is so fucking good in this show, Dan. I am so excited. He's so sexy. He's got a beard in it. He's got some scraggly hair. He looks so good. But I'm hoping that being in something a little more mainstream, not that The Boys is mainstream, but I think it's a broader appeal than the CW. Like, the CW is mostly for the teenage girls. But I'm hoping that this will open some doors, because even on this show, you watch it and you're like, well, he's the best guy in the show right now. He's the best actor in this show, full of decent actors.
Wow.
So this guy needs an Oscar. Let's get him in movies. Let's make him a movie star.
Yeah.
I love him.
Send to the ghetto that is movies. So after Interceptor, I was thinking, I got to pick a movie. Going? And, it's been a rough week for everybody. And I was like, somebody needs a beating, because Interceptor, I knew no one's getting a beating. No one deserves a beating for this movie.
Yeah,
it's a B or C level movie, and you can't fault these people. It's like,
it's the schlock that I like.
It's garbage that's made for Tony. He absorbs it, and then he immediately forgets about it, except for like 2 or 3 death scenes, and that's
probably true. Yes,
this is a movie that just fades out of your mind because
100%.
Your mind doesn't move much of it into its major spaces.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I was like, let's pick on somebody who should know better. Let's pick on somebody who had a great career.
Okay.
And then just started producing the biggest garbage on the planet.
Okay, I'm ready for this.
And I was like, we've done one of his movies, but we should probably do another one.
Okay.
He did some of the worst movies ever. Alice in Wonderland 1, Alice in Wonderland 2. But I will not make us... Yeah, we're doing Tim Burton.
Okay.
I'll not make us watch Alice in Wonderland because those aren't movies. They're not movies.
Ooh,
they're just like someone sort of putting a dreamscape out there that looks a certain way. There's nothing that occurs in those movies.
Yeah, there's no substance. No,
we can watch Dumbo, but that's a kid's movie. And
Danny DeVito's in it, I think, right? So I probably would enjoy it.
So he, we're not going to go there. We don't want to crap on Danny DeVito. We could do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
But we're not.
We're not doing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because nobody wants to do Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It is just a heaping pile of garbage that you don't want to talk about.
Or see again. I've already seen it once, and I was like, I never want to see this movie again.
Everything about that movie objectionable and bad, but just because it's bad, not even for reasons. But
right?
There is a movie that is bad for reasons.
Okay. What is it?
Planet of the Apes.
Ooh, is this Marky Mark?
Marky Mark, Planet of the
Okay,
Apes.
I haven't seen this in, 10, 15 years? When did it come out? I saw it in theaters, that's it.
I saw it right after, maybe I saw
I'm
it
pumped.
right when it came to DVD, and I watched it because I knew not to go to theaters, and it was. You're just like, what? Who's making any decisions in this movie? Because all of them are terrible.
Dan, I'm gonna say this right now. If you sit here and blame the whole thing on Mark Wahlberg like you did with Robin Williams, I'm gonna freak out. All right.
I think Marky Mark's a problem in this movie, but
no,
I think there's a lot of other problems in this movie too.
Well,
I know.
I can't wait to dive into the other problems.
Yes, we're gonna dive into Marky Mark. Wait, when did I go after Marky Mark?
No, you haven't. You went after Robin Williams really hard, and
yeah.
I can't live through that again with someone else I love. Okay.
Oh, I'll go hard after him, but I'm going to go hard after a lot of other things.
All right, good.
Because we need someone to punch, and
I agree.
The Planet of the Apes is the thing we're going to punch, and we're going to punch it really, really hard.
All right, I'm excited. This is going to be fun. I'm ready. Dan goes hard. That's what the episode will be called.
I'm going to get hard. I mean, go hard.
Nope. No, you were right.
Because there is a bunch of monkey sex in this movie, and
is there? I don't remember that. Oh, I'm ready.
It's so weird. It's so freaking weird. Oh, it's weird.
Yes.
Uncomfortable.
Let's do it.
And the funny thing is then they went on and made good Planet of the Apes movies, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, with James Franco, no less. So,
James,
that's weird.
Frankenheimer.
It's just in the first one, though, right?
I don't know. I've only ever saw the first one.
Oh, so you don't know if they're all good.
People like them. That's all I know.
That's true. Yeah, people really like them.
So this has been Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. If you like what you see, leave us a comment, leave us a like, or I don't think we have a non-like yet. Just likes, no non-likes.
You just put in the comments, just be like, I hate you, you suck. People do that to me all the time.
But give us thumbs up too while you're at it.
Yeah, do both. Really confuse the algorithm.
Or subscribe. And we'll be back next week, hopefully being scathingly evil to Planet of the Apes.
So angry. Planet of the Apes. Let's do this, baby. Ah! Oh, that's Tarzan. There you go. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch him!